Everybody, my name is Jeremy Porter with CANI Property Management, and to my right, this beautiful smiling lady is Angelia Ruff with CANI Property Management as well. She has a question for us today. Angie, what is your question?
How much can a bad tenant really cost?
Oh, God. Let's just hypothetically say that the rent is $2,700 per month.
Okay.
I had a recent situation where um, tenants moved in, they were paying, they'd moved in, I think, June or so, mid-June, something like that. And they stopped paying in April. And it took them approximately 3 months. And this was a kind of a high maintenance, not high maintenance, high worry tenant, right? I give it a yellow on the green light score, right? Green, red, yellow, like stoplights. It was a yellow on the green light, the traffic light score scale. There you go. And so they were yellow, and in April they stopped paying, giving me some sob story like, hey, we're going to have it at the end of the month. And I said, cool, here's your 3-day eviction notice. And I gave them a little bit of time, but I started proceeding with the eviction. Bottom line is it took me until the end of June to get them out. They had a sob story. The rent was $2,700 a month. So it was $8,100. That was the lost rent, and they did about $8,000 worth of damage as far as carpet and paint and other things in the property as well. So in this particular case, it was $16,000. Thankfully, they were on our worry-free program.
The owner was on the worry-free program.
Yes, the owner was on the worry-free program. So they received a check. We had a 3-month deposit because, again, it was a higher risk tenant. The owner still said, yeah, let's do it. And even though we warned them about,
but the owner didn't come out of pocket because of the
exactly.
the worry-free plan with the additional coverage that comes for that, and the security deposit that was taken up front for the risk, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I have a few more scenarios then for you. So again, back to how much can a bad tenant cost an investor in real dollars? So that was a great example. Fortunately, it didn't cost this owner, this investor, dollars in that case because they had things in place to be able to protect them.
Right.
So let me give you another example. Let's say you've got a little tutu, maybe it's renting for $2,500.
Why are you talking about my tutu right now?
You know, whatever.
Right.
It's anyway, they're in there, and let's just say they're just disgusting people. Like everything on paper, they were brilliant, they were perfect. And this particular owner's on our mid-tier where we do the occupied inspection, mid-lease. And we go in and we do the occupied inspection, and it's just a literal poop show. Literal poop show of just how disgusting it is. And they're not reporting maintenance or need for pest management or anything like that. In those instances, you know, how much is this bad tenant potentially costing this owner?
I mean, it's kind of hard to quantify. I mean, it depends on what happens from that point, right? We give advice and follow the direction of the owner at the end of the day. So if the owner's like, give him some check. I mean, if they follow our advice, we're going to serve them the right to cure and then follow back up and go out and re-inspect and make sure that that's done. If not, we're going to proceed with the eviction. Because if this goes on, we inspect every 6 months. So if this goes on for the full year term, then it's going to cost the owner even more.
Thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yes, right? But let's say we have to do the eviction, have to get them out that way. We're at 6 months in, so maybe we can save some of the flooring. I'm not ever a fan of carpet in rentals. I think it's just, it's not a matter of if it gets replaced, it's a matter of when it gets replaced, right? LVP is a good solution, tile is a better solution, that sort of thing. But yeah, to answer your question, I mean, something like that can cost the owner easily $12,000 to $20,000.
Wow.
You know,
that's crazy, bro. All right, I have one last thing I wanted to try to get in on this video.
Yeah.
What about the unintentional bad tenant? So let me give you the example of the unintentional bad tenant. The unintentional bad tenant is the tenant that just doesn't want to bother the landlord for anything.
Hmm.
And so they, something breaks and they just don't report it.
They
Or the
put a bucket
shower
under the
head,
sink and
right. Or there's a shower head that really needs to be replaced and they're not the greatest at, making things, they're not handy. And so they just try to make it the best they can. Those unintentional bad tenants that think they're doing the right thing, have you seen those cost lots
oh
of
yeah,
money?
and this is why I preach for it because we do have three different plans, but one of our plans does not cover us going out regularly to check on the property. So that's up to the owner if they want us to go back out for additional trips. But once we lease the property, we don't go back out and check on the property. Or mid-tier is we check on the property every 6 months. So sometimes we run into those tenants where unfortunately they think they're doing the owner a favor by not reporting that maintenance, but at the end of the day, it's just costing the owner more money because that doesn't get better over time. It gets worse over time, and a lot of times causes more damage. Then we got to replace that cabinet because they just stuck the bucket under there to catch the water, and the leak got worse, and then it overflowed into the cabinet, causing mold or a mold-like substance. And now we have to replace the whole cabinet when we could have just fixed the leak.
Okay, so there's so many different ways that a bad tenant can cost someone owning some money, and we quantified some of it, but I guess until next time.
All right, bye now.